of WTRT, so not much of introduction I would like to give. I would now request him to um, uh, run this session the way he wishes. Of course, we are running behind schedule by now about more than half an hour. So I would also request on his behalf that the speakers stick to the time. And of course, we would like to have more question answer in the later part of this program. Sawan Saab, now floor is yours.
Good afternoon and welcome to post-lunch session. And the theme of the session is academic research and paper presentation on academic output, laboratory output in the universities and the colleges. And rightly, when one professor is absent, Professor Mukesh from IIT Delhi, the other professor is summoned here, so no class goes empty. So this session will go on. So thank you, the organizer and my esteemed friend Dr. Rakesh Kumar and Deotaji for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to invite the speakers of the session. And first one is, I would like to invite all the speakers on the desk. S. Sudhalai, Assistant Professor, Pondicherry University is there. Please come. Yeah, please come. Please take your seat. Ms. Rozia Singh from TERI, Delhi. Yes, please come. All young students, yes, good. Then Devendra Dohare, SIT Indore. Dohare. Dr. Poonam Aluria, she's there. Take a seat, yeah. Dr. T. Vijayan. Dr. T. Vijayan. Dr. Vijayan, please come. Nucotex. So, Rosie is there. Sudhalal is there, and Devendra is there. Dr. Professor V.K. Garg is there. Professor Garg. Mr. Devendra Goyal. Devendra ji? Yeah. Professor Shamla Mani. Shamla ji. Anurag Gupta. And Manjeet Bansal. Manjeet?
He's not here.
Okay, so one absentee. So that leaves to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 speakers and 10 including myself if I am able to draw some line.
My name is Vijayan.
All distinguished speakers of this session, and as the theme goes for this session, not only that, but the theme for the brainstorming workshop that was well illustrated by all the distinguished speakers in inaugural session, and rightly said we are here for brainstorming for short-term solutions and long-term solutions. And I hope the speakers will emphasize on this point because this is a very important workshop on brainstorming. So if you have a long presentation of that, you please give emphasis on these aspects of finding solution of municipal solid waste management, and the points can be well taken for the panel discussion and a presentation. I have a very small presentation and shall not take much of your time, but rather would prefer to give time to the speakers in this session. Well, the municipal solid waste management in India My concept note can make it very clear. The West has a lot least priority. We are not treating it as an important subject, and we are all thinking that it is an important subject now and present meets, because we see the problem in the metro cities, how huge it is, and is beyond capability of management, and it's true for every city, metro city. But from where the problem comes in, we had very startling case presented by Patil, Deputy Municipal Commissioner from Mumbai, which is, I think, the largest case handling, where 10,000 ton per day, 10,000 ton per day, solid waste is generated apart from the sewage. The number given to you by Dr. Diota, and these are the issues that we have to deal with. Now, whatever he spoke about, the landfills, Gorai, and started with Deonar from the British colonial time, but the issue has got out of hand, and by this time till we start attending it, it has already done the damage. It is not the solid waste that you see at the landfill sites and the heap and the treatment and sites and preparation and landscaping and foul-free. These are the present technologies. But millions of tons leachate have already gone to the water bodies, to estuaries, to river sites. It has already done the damage, sedimentation, biomagnification, everything, because this waste consists of everything. And rightly, when we monitor the water bodies in and around Mumbai, we could find lot of toxic trace elements and many more things, and they have gone into a real environment, and they have not remained any more static. But having started an attempt making rules in 2000, the problem is not resolved. And if you see the general practices, they go on. This is a very common sight. As I said, that waste, we start thinking seriously when it is generated in a large quantity at a given place, and particularly dumping site, when also failed to provide the solution. Now see the increase in population level, the booming economy. Now you'll find that the per capita generation is going higher and higher as the economic growth is there. You all can see in your household and your personal uses, so many things have come which were not existing 10, 15 years before. As they have come into with the booming economy, rapid urbanization, now this problem has increased. The same house, what it was generating as a waste 10 years before, is now tenfold more. In-house and outside the house also, wherever you go on recreations or the restaurants or any other places, you will find all people live the place with lots of solid around. You travel from Mumbai to Pune on track, both the side, you will find a lot of solid waste dumped outside the train. You do not see this situation. If you go to Copenhagen, if you go to St. Petersburg or any European city, you will not find the streets full of the garbage or litters. That Patil mentioned about 60 lakh floating population in Mumbai. Is this population aware of what they are littering into, what quantity, and next day 7,000 to 8,000 tons of that litter is collected, or it is part of the 10,000 quantity which is left in the city by floating population, because they are not sensitized. They do not take care of the waste like you and me would put any garbage or any waste paper with us and dump it home at the right place when you reach home. So this kind of sensitization, I would put that point as far as education of environment is concerned in the later stage of concluding part of this conference. And I would say a short term is technical solution, but long term is educational solution. How that is, a boy coming from city after 12th standard for access to education degree, say the University of Mumbai has 7 lakh students, so at least touching 6 lakh students, 6 lakh houses. If they are sensitized to do worthwhile project on waste management, or management house in terms of environment are practical issues. I think we can plan on those solutions so that sensitization will start. So when the boy comes to city or a student comes to city, he is sensitized. Institution, a glass wastage, paper wastage is put together in one bin. Student who is doing graduation, post-graduation. Why? He is not sensitized. The importance, or he does not know the magnitude of solid waste of metros. So look at this. I will not go into this detail because this data has been already presented. How the urbanization has led to generation of lot of solid waste. By this time you must have gone through the text of this slide. And many Indian cities, states are now targeting new generation development. IT hubs, ITs, biotech park, SEZ, financial hubs, and so many other issues, including nuclear power plants. They are on the agenda of the country because we find that's only probably the option left in long term to get the power. And nuclear waste is a separate category. We, in the field of nuclear science, know how serious this problem is, how serious as far as the wastes are generated and how they are to be stored into the canister or impervious places so that it does not leach out. By no chance. They don't mingle that solid waste by even explosions or earthquakes or anything or tsunamis. So that is separate science and technology for nuclear waste management that will take a lot of time to go into, but that's an agenda. So the more power station coming, we'll have also to deal with the solid waste. But confining to the municipal solid waste, you can see the staggering capacity, I mean the generation that 85,500 metric tons waste per day has been generated. Now, the urban waste scenario, you can see that the hazards. Now, what you see as a heap of a garbage, management problem, leachate and all that. But in addition to that, you can see that other day I traveled to Vaishali in the Delhi and we could find a huge, I would say, mountain of the solid waste. It must be under the process of treatment. But we could see hundreds of thousands. I was saying thousands of vultures, but Dr. Devota corrected me. Hundreds of thousands of vultures are moving on top of that, and so they are the carriers. We should not forget about that, and so I do not know. And then greenhouse and other things. So all these issues, though we have waste scenario, manual rules for disposal, as somebody was rightly saying that we have lots of options, I would say, for disposing of the waste, because we are not penalized for dumping it at the wrong place. Anybody, anything can throw anywhere. Even in metros, the most sophisticated cities we call like Mumbai or Chennai or whatever the city is, I don't think anybody is penalized. Spitting on the street, the corporation, Mumbai Corporation, impose the fine. I don't find anybody's fine in a single day or single person. And so these laws are not implemented. That is the problem. So rightly, the chairman, Pollution Control Board Gujarat, he said that unless the laws are enforced, the guilty are penalized, I don't think there is going to be a solution. So the education, sensitization, and penalties. I was talking to Mr. Patil during the lunch time. You have been collecting a lot of cess, education, and environment, tree plantation. Education is a mandate given to the government under RTE. So leave it to the government. The corporation should collect the cess for waste management. There can be many models depending upon size of the locality, the housing society, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. Each one should have their own arrangement of metering it or gauging it, measuring it, and they should be able to pay for that, how much is generated every day. If you ask them to pay for it, they'll see that they produce less waste. So this kind of many solutions we can finally think of in brainstorming session. And so this is how far cities are fair in compliance with the MSW rules. Well, I'll not go into details of the storage sources, segregation, recycling, the doorstep primary collection waste. You'll find that the compliance in any of these areas is not very good. Now, cities below 50% compliance of these categories of like processing, coverage of waste, transportation, we'll find the city in Mumbai also a lot of spillage takes place early morning. Then many other vehicles and the people sleep on that. There are many accidents. So these daily street sweeping, though it takes place at places, provisional containers, then they are over filled and everything spreads over. People, the hoteliers, the servants, they are scared to go to, or they avoid go to near to the bin of municipal corporation. They don't put into the bin, but they just spread it around. They throw the bags near those bins, and you'll find that hardly anything is in the bin kept by the municipal corporation, and all the waste is surrounded around the bin, and that is how the apathy toward the solid waste. So it is not placed in a proper place, even if it is provided. The first example I will tell you the actually what happened last month. The by-lane behind main arterial road to going to the town, the small lane behind a very big society, I would not name it, full of garbage, so much so that it is difficult for a person to walk through by the sides, or impossible to take a vehicle from that lane because the garbage spreads to the magnitude, to the wealth of the society people live in. And so much so garbage. So I telephoned the former mayor of the city, the lady, and madam, I said that why this so much garbage around, kindly send your volunteers to see that. Thank God next day morning that site was planted with the palms, trees, and there are 6 big garbage bins provided there, and people could place that waste at least at the moment into that. Now this is a scenario, present waste generation. You'll see that city-wise, Delhi, Greater Mumbai, Ahmedabad, as you go to these metro cities, you'll find it is magnitude has gone to so high, and now you can see the meteoric rise in certain cities, and that is how we have been deliberating on this issue, how serious it is taking. The waste generation and disposal status in India, and all these figures have been given nicely by the Ministry of Environment, Mr. Chaurasia. I think we are all aware of it, so I shall not repeat this. Status of sanitary landfills, you can see that nearly 45.45% cities do not have the sanitary landfills, which include major generators such as Greater Mumbai, Delhi, Kanpur, in fact many more. And so the other cities, somebody spoke on the Guwahati, so Agrawal spoke about the Jaipur situation. So these are the areas, places where some initiatives are in the making, and so in some substance we find that inadequacies in existing system, as somebody rightly mentioned, the lack of, he pointed lack in understanding, collection, services, and so many. So the pollution of land, water, and air, emission, this is how the issue comes very important, because it has started creating more and more hazards wherever they are dumped. So hierarchy of the efficiency, reduce, recycle, reuse, and the requirement for the balance. Anyway, that is all we talked about. The waste management concepts, you all experts here know it very well. The responsibilities, waste generation, household level, recycling, level of recycling, and depends upon the financial capabilities of those cities, because someone rightly said that the finance is one of the major issue that many corporations cannot afford to spend so much on. Like Mumbai Corporation spends 2,000 crore on waste management, and still problem is not addressed. So segregation, so we rightly said the community's responsibility. Where this community composition comes from is very important. I would say in the nascent solution to this, community is made of an individuals. How well individual is educated and sensitized is an aspect, Dr. Rakesh ji, we should look into. As I said that, say 30 lakh students in the state of Maharashtra, say 8 lakh students in the city of Mumbai or Mumbai suburbs and affiliating institutions. This is a large number. You need to sensitize these people on this solid issue of solid waste management. And so that it has to come to the college education. And so I think collection, transportation, disposal, and disposal options, dumping, incineration, they all have been discussed. Incineration problems have their own problems rather. Landfills have their own problem. And rightly Dr. Mooch said in the morning that is that only options? You have to look beyond these options. Like the value generation, effects of the waste, this will not go into detail. Now, this is just an impact, environmental and health impact, and this is what's happening, dumping waste. I will not go into this gathering, which is so well. So challenges and opportunities, maybe some point it could be something new. So managing toxic problem, the material in the waste, which like toxic metals, heavy metals, chemical pollutions, organic pollutants, teratogens, they have to be taken care especially. Sometimes something is responsible for the problem. Suppose radioactive pencil in municipal waste of Delhi can kill one person and sensitize the whole issue of the waste generation, collections and all that, and control. So similarly, these contents in the waste material are very, very important. Now what is the problem is that we have been talking about the municipal solid waste, treatment, processes, handling, everything. But are these municipal corporation, my basic question is, are they to be categorized as a municipal solid waste which is generated from the households? Let us take the case of Mumbai city. In every lane and by-lane locality, there are industries, there are heavy industries, there are chemical industries, there are plastic industries, there are metal industries, there are foundries, everything is there. So please do not think of the municipal solid waste as a material generated from the household localities, societies or human consumption. It is admixed with lot of material which are precious. Rag pickers will not collect the biodegradable material to produce any methane gas or anything or selling it to some plant. They are there to collect precious metals as far as value is concerned, but these precious metals, many of them are toxic enough. And the problem begins more from that than anything else. And this is an issue, so please do not look at the present context till we have planned cities. The municipal waste means only degradable, non-degradable. Non-degradable coming from industries has to be given a special attention. So this is very, very important. So I think I have drawn some points, and now we shall proceed with the presentation of the members of this panel. Thank you very much. Sudhula is assistant professor Pondicherry University, and he will speak on wide window for cleaning environmental awareness. So time though, although it is 15 minutes per speaker, we shall try to squeeze it as much as possible. It doesn't go beyond the allotted time so that we are left with the time for the brainstorming. Thank you.
Very good afternoon to the erudite community from Pondicherry University and from Center for Pollution Control and Environment Engineering and from student friends. The topic is actually there is a small, sorry for the inconvenience, there is a small topic change because of some reason. Social media platform for awareness on solid waste management, that's the talk I'm going to deliver now. What I'm going to talk here is about role of social media in municipal solid waste management, and the talk is comprising about how the social media can be used for research, education, and for effective communication sharing, that for creating awareness and for encouraging the waste related business models, and for policy makings and public opinions, and for organizing events of this kind. Probably you may be surprising why ending and talking before us on social media, because we are going to talk about solid waste management. I'm trying to link as much as I can. Before entering into the topic, I just want to share you the inspiration which fertilized me to stand before you. Is first the quote from Anil Gupta, IIM Ahmedabad. The quote is, "The mind on the marginal minds are the minds on the margins are not marginal minds." He's a professor. Actually, he's having two institutions called National Innovative Foundation, and another one is Srishti Honeybee Network, through which he is trying to eradicate poverty using so many medias he is using. One of the media, social media. One of the important posts, he has a lot of posts out there. One of the example is here, pain of the backbending challenge to overcome the centuries of inertia. Actually, there is an awkward portion of people who is cropping the paddy field. He is trying to give some innovative solution for that. So that is that kind of post he is having to eradicate, to have more innovative ideas and to eradicate the poverty. Second thing is about, actually he talked about social media much, so that's the inspiration for me to get social media for solid waste management. And second thing is about recent social mass activities. One is India against corruption, other one is Delhi gang rape. You can see the poll from social media, how people are responding for that. I need not to say, you all aware all about these things. There is a quote, social networks like Facebook and Twitter are a powerful weapon in the hands of activists in fight against the corruption. That was given by one of the I paid tribute, I paid the bribe or something. There is a website, they have given that. And the third thing is Nicholas Christakis. Actually, he's a social scientist. He has given a wonderful quote I just want to share with you. The thing is, if your friends are obese, you have 45% of getting obese. And your friends is obese, you have 25% of getting obese. And your friends get obese, you have 10% of getting obese. What it means, it influences you. If you are doing right things, it influences your friends and your friends and friends, so on and so on. So using this model, he has used the social media for predicting most of the epidemics. And the point I'm trying to share here is social media can be used for research works. Probably we need more data and more predictions. In such cases, we can use the social media. And the fourth one is about the medicines. Nowadays we are start using this social media for medicine related things. So even medicine, social activities, they are using the Facebooks and other things. Why can't we use it for solid waste management? That's the idea behind this talk. And before beginning this, what is social media? Anything which comprise of words, pictures and videos, so that you can able to network, then that can be called as social media. And these are all the spectrum of social media available right now. And here, this is the crux of my topic. The thing is, I'm just very focused on this particular figure. 5% is on final disposal and 60 to 70% on transport. If I can do something on the transportation, my job is half done. Other thing is taken care. You people are going to take care about the treatment and other things.